East of the center of Mérida is the colonia known as Mejorada. La Mejorada was once an area of beautiful colonial homes, many of which still exist today in various states of reparation. One of the most beautiful is the downstairs and front rooms of the Mission Hotel on Calle 59, with a lovely open courtyard in the center, surrounded by high-ceilinged rooms with beautiful woodwork and floor tiles. The very first hospital in Merida was built in Mejorada in 1562, and later, between the years of 1688 and 1694, the area also saw the construction of a Franciscan convent. Due to political problems and space issues, both were eventually moved. The convent building served at different times as a women's jail and a soldier's barracks, and in 1970 was donated by the state government to the Universidad Autónoma de Yucatán, and now houses the architecture school. The stone building houses both the church and the university and is open to the public. The university courtyard is paved with massive stones. The central patio, surrounded by history and the young faces of Mexico's future architects, is an impressive intersection of past and present. Mejorada for many years had a strong military presence, and the cuartel or barracks took up an entire block just south of Calle 59 and east of Calle 50. That fact is commemorated by a plaque at that corner. El cuartel and the cuartel itself now houses a school and buildings for after-school programs. The grounds even have a railroad car inside that's outfitted as a classroom. Mejorada had its boom time during the railroad era, so during the late 1800s, when Mérida's magnificent railroad station was built. Steam-engined trains rolled through the station up until the 1960s. Today, one of those steam engines chugs around Disney World. Nowadays, the station has been partially refurbished and now serves as the Escuela Superior de Artes de Yucatán. There are still portions of the station that are unrenovated. As well as a large plot of land where various railroad cars lie rusting in the sun. Rumor has it that the rest of the structure will one day be renovated for performance and retail spaces, and the land turned into an even nicer park. On the north side of this park is the Yucatan Railway Museum, where a collection of historical engines and railroad cars await visitors in a manicured, park-like environment, tended over by a lonely but dedicated guard. Majorada Park is one of Mérida's most tranquil, with its large bronze sculpture commemorating the Niños Héros de Chapultepec. The park is often used by local youth for dance and parade practice. On the east side, facing the church and the university buildings, you can find a lineup of men and their trucks available for whatever job you might have for them. If you are moving furniture from one house to another, this is the place to go rent a crew and a truck to help you. On the west side of the park is Merida's best Spanish restaurant, El Segoviano, the famous Alejandro's restaurant, and the Museo del Arte Popular, the Museum of Mexican Popular Arts and Crafts. There is no market in the neighborhood, but the central market Galvez is only a few blocks to the south. There is definitely an extranjero presence in this neighborhood, with many restored colonias and many more on the way.
That's a baby. That's a baby.
It's a baby boy.
Boy.
It's a baby boy.
It's a baby. Are you a baby? You're not a baby? Oh, you're a baby too. Are you a baby? Oh, this is so cute. They're so cute. Yes. Yes. This is your baby. Your baby. Oh, you guys are so cute. You guys are so cute.
Much nicer than the dogs we have at home.
Oh, no, no. I'm so cute. I'm so cute. I like that both one. Yeah, baby. Oh, baby.
Northeast of La Mejorada is an area now known as Chuminopolis. According to local tradition, the name is a conjunction of Chumin, a nickname for Domingo, and polis, the Greek root word for city. This part of the city was all once owned by Señor Jose Domingo Sosa, a rich landowner and distinguished citizen. He built a capilla or chapel here, which was unfortunately demolished in 1944. The area was the Chinese district where the Chinese migrants lived, who had come to work on the railroad. One of the most beautiful buildings in this area is Quinta El Olvido, meaning House of the Forgetting, built at the end of 19th century by Rafael Quintero, the engineer who paved the streets of Merida. The nearby neighborhood of Chempeche is where the original Yucatán brewery was built in 1900, which was eventually sold to Grupo Modelo and then closed in 2002. Part of the property was bought by a company that built Plaza Sendero with supermarkets, a movie theater, and restaurants. The old brewery silos still remain, with plans to create a restaurant there someday. Chuminopolis is also home to the Casa de la Cristianidad, a former Franciscan monastery, also known as Hacienda San Pedro Chucuchaui. Just north of this area is a neighborhood known as Jardín Miraflores, an old middle-class fraccionamento. Over the last few years, the area has seen a smattering of purchases by extranjeros who like the proximity to downtown with the lower-priced homes. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour of one of Merida's neighborhoods. I'm going to be making other videos of the other popular neighborhoods to visit or live in Merida, as well as some other videos of the city, including the cuisine, the cantinas, and the different things to see and do in Merida, as well as in the general area, including the coast, cenotes, small towns surrounding the city, etc. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to see those other videos of the city of Merida, I have a link in the description below this video where you can find all those videos of Merida, as well as the other videos I've made traveling throughout eastern Mexico this time around in 2021. You'll also find in the description a link to the first time I traveled through Mexico 3 years ago, bicycling through the country, through western and central Mexico. That was part of a larger trip, bicycling through Latin America. I've also bicycled through Eastern Africa and Eastern Europe, and I have playlists for all those countries that I've bicycled through available on this very same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. Alternatively, if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I got to see and do, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. where you can click on the different locations and see the various blog posts and videos that I've made of those places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures through Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and beyond, you can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Alright, so that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.